Hey, welcome to my channel. Today we're talking about subconscious beliefs, and the reason for this is I had quite a few questions. The video that I put up that said I'm no longer going to talk about everyone is you pushed out, and I'm not, this is not a video about that, but it did throw up some questions for people because I said what manifests is your subconscious beliefs and feelings, not what you're trying to think and trying to believe. And I had some questions from people really freaking out, going, oh, is that a waste of time? I'm trying to change my subconscious beliefs, but it's never going to happen, and all of that. So I just thought, let's just clear up one, what I meant there, and one, what you can do about that. And absolutely, you can change this. It doesn't mean that just because you've got that going on that you're stuck with that unfolding over and over, because noticing that subconscious belief is the first step to eradicating it, dampening it down, helping it to lose its power. Because it's like anything, before you recognize it, and if you don't go deep and look and see what those beliefs are, then they will continue to manifest, but you can stop them, one, by recognizing them. Imagine something going under the radar. It's going under the radar, it's going under the radar. You are not spotting it, you are not aware of it, so you cannot do anything about it. As soon as you become aware of it and it gets spotted on that radar, you think, oh my God, what's that? That's the first step to eradicating it. Either you don't have to totally eradicate it, so don't look at that like, how am I going to get rid of that? You just have to balance it out with other possibilities. Do you know what? This is made really difficult. And when we talk a lot about changing subconscious beliefs, the things that are harder to change or that take longer are the beliefs that we have about ourselves. So I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, people always leave me, all of that sort of thing. And that kind of thing is really well dealt with subliminals or affirmations, or affirmation MP3s or something like that. Because your analytical brain is not getting involved. It's not telling you you're deluded or you're lying to yourself, because it doesn't know what's going on. It's not registering, it's going straight to your subconscious. So that is a really great way of dealing with that kind of thing. If you feel that every time you affirm that, you're thinking, I don't believe that, I don't believe that, then do it with subliminals. Probably a subliminal is better than an affirmation, because you can still hear the affirmation stuff that's going on, even if it's not you saying it. So you know what those affirmations are, you know what that subliminal consists of, and you just, but as you have it on, all you're doing is listening to the sounds, or, just relaxing. So you're not consciously aware of what you're doing. So all of that stuff is going into your subconscious and changing it without any effort from you. But it does take some time to do that. But again, it's worth it, and it's consistency. That's what I say to a lot of people about subliminals that just randomly use them a couple of times one week, then don't use them for a while, and then go back and use them once. It's not really going to have an effect that way. You need to be listening to them consistently, not ridiculously, like all of the time, just once a day, but consistently once a day. Okay, and that is generally, it takes about 12 weeks to change a subconscious belief. So, but with some people it happens much sooner than that. Some people it might take a bit longer, but that's average. That's an average time frame. So there's that when it comes to changing what you feel about yourself. But the first thing is to recognize it. Now, if we're talking about relationships and it's an ex or a specific person that you're interested in, and you have a subconscious belief going on there that says, well, they will never be interested in me, I'm not their type, they've moved on, but you don't necessarily know that you've got that going on. The first thing is recognize it. What do I think about them? Or maybe it's something like they're really stubborn, and when they've made up their mind, they never change their minds. Now, that is a very strong subconscious belief. So if on one hand, you are trying to manifest somebody into your life, and then on the other, you have this strong subconscious belief going on, then that's going to manifest. But that's when you don't notice it. That's when you don't pay attention to it and don't decide to deal with it. And you deal with it by, I found this has been the very best way, sorry if you can hear the dishwasher beeping there, the very best way for me has been to give myself other possibilities. So not going, oh, how can I get rid of that belief? Oh my gosh, that's going to be really hard to get rid of, because it's tough then, and it seems like a job and a chore. But if you give yourself some other possibilities, and do you know what? Your subconscious belief is only your perception of a situation anyway. So if you try to look at your perception of it, think, how can I change that slightly? And give yourself other options, even if it's just one other option that seems possible. If it seems possible, then it's probable. And then it just opens up. What it does is it takes that immense power away from that subconscious belief that you've had ticking over. Completely it does. And if you're balancing things out, that's all you need to do. You don't have to eradicate these beliefs, because that seems like such a huge task for you to take on, doesn't it? Eradicate that. I have never had to do that, because for me it's always the gentlest way possible, the lightest touch that I can take, and that is giving myself another narrative. You know, I've talked about narratives here, so giving myself another option is enough to decrease the power of that subconscious belief. Sometimes I've got rid of subconscious beliefs in a moment when I've recognized it and thought, what the hell? I know where that's come from, but actually that's nonsense, and I've got rid of it just like that. But other things, particularly about myself, I've done in other ways. I've done with subliminals. I still listen to my subliminal now, and I add to it sometimes. If I'll think of another statement that I really like, I will go in and add that in. So I still do that. That's pretty much all that I do, and I do that for relaxation purposes. I don't do it really in order to do anything. I just know that it will do stuff over time, but I don't stress about that. Other subconscious beliefs, I do take note sometimes when I think that something isn't changing and I feel like it should be. I think, okay, what have I got going on in here? And sometimes I think, well, nothing. And then I'll just find something. I think, oh my gosh, wow, how did I not notice that? That happens a lot. How did I not notice that? But doing what I do, how did I not notice it? And I just think there's a time to notice these things. When we notice them, it's the right time. It's the right time for it to change. So absolutely, you do not have to live by your subconscious beliefs, and you do not have to keep seeing that unfolding all of the time. You just need to recognize it, and don't be scared of recognizing those things. I think sometimes people think, well, if I don't give them any attention, then they'll just go away, but they don't. You just need to recognize them, be honest about them. What is it? Where's that come from? And it's come from this, say, for example, it's come from this situation that happened. That's then gone in and created this version of them inside of me and what I think that they are like. I'm talking about relationships here. Okay, how can I tweak that slightly to make it less so? How can I tell myself something else that isn't way out there? Not like, you know, you're going from thinking somebody's not interested in you to saying that they're obsessed with you. I wouldn't do that. Some people might be able to do that, but I wouldn't do that. I would just say, why do I think that they're not interested? Why could they be interested? What's good about me? And list those things and think, yeah, they could possibly be starting to think about me. You know, something really gentle like that. It's highly possible that they are missing me because they haven't seen me for a long time. It's highly possible that they are. Give yourself another version of events, another perception on whatever it is. And I'm talking about relationships here, but it can be with anything, absolutely anything that you want to manifest, that you've noticed something contrary to what you want. And it's strong when we don't recognize it, and it keeps flying under the radar, and you don't make any effort to deal with it. Then either you're just completely not aware of it. I have had subconscious beliefs that I've not been aware of at all. And when they've come to me, when I've thought there's something going on here, and I generally know there must be something there. When I've wanted to manifest something, as far as I'm concerned, I have no resistance, and it's not here. Why is it not here? And I don't do that, and why is it not here? Where I do in a practical, okay, why is it not here? I look inside. And sometimes I'll struggle to find something, but eventually something. And if I can't find something, I will say to whatever this magic is, show me what this is. There's something going on here. What is it? And then something will be shown to me. So I'm just going to sum up here. Recognize it. Really be honest with yourself. What could be in here that's contrary to what I want? So on one hand, I want this person in my life. Or it doesn't, you know, even if it's a person that you don't know yet, you want someone in your life and you're not meeting anybody. Well, why is that? What's going on inside of me? And even if, you know, it might be a few things, it might just be one thing, it might be something really simple that you think, really? Could that have that power? But when you think about it, you think, actually it could, because it is contrary to what I want. So you deal with it that way and you think, how can I change my perception on all of these things so that I change that, so that I give my subconscious another possibility. And really, you know, I can only talk about my own experience here, and that's how this has worked for me, because I find it really hard still to think, okay, I feel this at the moment, and I really would like to feel like this, and I know there's no way that I'm going to go from this to this in a short amount of time. So I give myself little steps, really. So nothing is set in stone, absolutely not. Just because you've got something going on and you know that it's unfolding to you, all I would say is don't overdo it with the affirmations if you are feeling the resistance when you're doing it. I mean, this is not a trying process. It really isn't. And the more we try, that energy is of trying and grasping. So that's really what we want to try and avoid. And we can do that, like I said, in those kind of ways, just being a little bit gentler and not trying to leap from one belief straight to something which is completely opposite to what you're believing at the moment, because it's tough. on your subconscious to take that on board. So just do it in little steps. Just think, how can I move from this? What can I really believe is possible? Let's go with that first. And then when you get to that point and you really feel like, yeah, I do believe that's a possibility now, then move on a little bit further from that. But it's just the little steps thing, and it's lighter on you. Everything with this is, for me, has been light touch, light touch. If you go heavy-handed with yourself, you just wear yourself out, you'll feel exhausted. Yes, you might really go at the affirmations and get some success and see a bit of what you've been affirming, but the thing is, when you don't have that feeling state to go with it, it will just fall back again and you'll go back to the beginning, or you get a bit and then you'll need to do the same again for the next bit and the next bit. And what you don't want that, you want that overall thing that unfolds for you much more naturally. And that's how we do it. We change our perception, we give our subconscious another point of view. Simple. I think that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to overcomplicate this, because it's not complicated. Okay. So just to let you guys know, there's a lot of you that are now on the waiting list for my members area, which is great. I am completely full up to capacity at the moment, and so it will be slightly different. So although you're on the waiting list, when it does become available, you can join for free. So you will get all of the modules in there, which is videos and papers and that kind of thing. You'll get the access to the members hub and all of that. The only thing that doesn't come with it now is the email coaching from me, because it has become impossible for me to sustain email coaching for £5 a month. I just can't do it. It was brilliant at the beginning when I wasn't so busy, but I'm so busy now. And of course I do Zoom coaching as well, and it just is impossible. But if you are a member, you will still get that service because you are paying. So you won't then drop down to a free member unless you ask to do so. If you do ask to do that, that's fine. You can do that by all means if you don't want to make use of the email coaching support. But if you still want to carry on making use of that, then you will have to continue to pay that £5. I wanted to clear that up because I didn't know whether the website made that really clear. So that's the case with that. Yes, I offer Zoom coaching. I'm between 4 and 5 weeks booked up in advance. So whenever you come to me, there won't be anything immediate that I can give you unless somebody has just cancelled. And subliminals will be live on my website, I do believe, tomorrow at some point. They are ready to go live now, but I'm just double checking everything because I just want it all to run smoothly. I don't want any glitches, so I'm just running through everything and testing it, really testing it heavy. So there's a few on there. There'll be 4 on there to start with. There's letting go, there is self-worth, there's relationship, and there is a booster on there, which is slightly cheaper than the others, but there will be lots more on there, and there will be manifest as you sleep stuff on there as well eventually, but at the moment I had to kick it off somewhere, so it's kicked off now as it is. So I'm Northa. If you don't know anything about me, my books are listed below, and pop on onto my website if you want to read a bit more about me and who I've written for and that kind of thing outside of my book writing, and my services are there too. Right, thanks for watching, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, then I'd also love for you to do that.